This is Santa Clarita, your average upper-middle-class, overprivileged suburban wasteland, most well-known as the home of Six Flags Magic Mountain. The amusement park was built in 1971 with an underlying goal of introducing families to the then rural area of Valencia in hopes that they'd decide to move here. Well, I guess the plan worked. Hell, even my own family packed their things from Santa Monica and moved to the promised land. Better schools, safer streets, and the perfect place to raise a family. We've got a mall, the movies, and pretty much anything else you'd ever want to spend money on. It seems every day vacant empty fields are bulldozed into parking structures and new homes and businesses are popping up everywhere you look. There's no doubt the town is sprawling with construction, but what about the teenagers in Santa Clarita? Who would have ever thought that such a quiet, peaceful town could produce such angry children as these? You may be asking yourself just what these privileged white kids have to be so darn angry about.
Go to the mall on Friday night and you think you're really cool. Spending daddy's credit card, you're living life so good.
Maybe the fact that the only thing to do here is go to the mall or the movies, hang around town and spend our parents' money.
You lost a mess and yeah you know, but still you like to spend.
Maybe the fact that local bands have no place to play and there are no venues around here because everyone's too worried about liabilities. Or maybe just because our families aren't nearly as perfect as we look on our Christmas card photos. This is the real suburbia, and these are the kids that live here. This is their story.
Pretty much everywhere I've lived in a nice area. I was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma, then adopted and moved to San Jose up north. And then I moved down to Yorba Linda over in Orange County. And then I moved here when I was in 4th grade, so.
I don't know, I lived with my dad in Tumor until I was like 6 or something. My parents got divorced and my mom moved out over by Newhall in an apartment, but then we moved to Castaic, so.
I've lived at Santa Clarita all my life since I was born. Lived in Castaic for 11 years, and I came to Valencia for 11, 12, 13, 14,
I don't think
5
Castaic's
years.
part of Santa Clarita.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
I actually first lived in Castaic with my mom, and then she moved because of that big earthquake. And then I was also going from Castaic to Canyon Country because my mom and my dad separated like when I was really, really young.
Yeah, my parents are divorced. They divorced like 3-4 years ago.
Parents got divorced when I was 4. My dad left. I have a sister. I've never met her. I've never ever got along with my mom. Ever. I hate her. She put me in rehab.
Even though there's, they live out here in Santa Clarita, it not necessarily means that, their life is, copacetic. They could be rich and still, really unhappy. They could have a bad family life. A lot of them, some of them are living in the wash, because their home life is so bad.
I don't know, for me it was like I went to Castaic Middle School and I got the shit kicked out of me every day, and because I dressed weird and I had short hair.
I went to Canyon High School. Yeah, Canyon High.
What did you think
Graduated last year. Graduated like 2 years ago.
I went to Canyon High School.
And I go to Valencia High School.
I went to Valencia High School.
I live in Valencia and I went to Sauce here.
I went to Opportunities for Learning. And, story of my fucking life, I'm a fuck up.
I was Saugus, and then I transferred to Bowman after I went to rehab in Utah.
Well, I went to Hart High. I graduated from Hart High.
I spent my first 2 years at Hart, fucking loving that spot. Fucking having a good time every day with all those cool people and shit. And then I got the hell out of there because it was horrible.
Because it was too cool and you had bad ideas.
And then I went to AOC, which used to be really chill and was a really good idea.
I've only lived here like 2 years. I moved from the valley, like from Glendale and Burbank.
I work right here. Right here. That's where I work. I serve pizza to the majority of people every day.
Valencia people.
So my parents bought a house here and they actually like the suburban life, I guess. They really like it here, so
Got here because I lived in West Los Angeles. I was actually working in the film industry, but then later became a teacher. And my friend, another teacher here, said there was an opening for theater. Come up to Santa Clarita. So I interviewed for the job and I got it.
I mean, yeah, some of the teachers are really, really cool. And my counselor is awesome, but other than that, I'd rather choose not to have a relationship with any new person here, just because, I mean, I don't know. This is like, a rich kid's school.
But I didn't really know what I was in for because I didn't really know what kind of community it was until I started teaching here. And I was like, okay, interesting.
What do I think of Valencia High?
Most people, I don't know, they're just fake. They're too involved in certain things. They don't see the big picture. That's the impression I get.
People are a lot more materialistic here. They're horribly dependent on Hollywood and showing off for people and caring about what other people think of them.
You get all those girls with on their 16th birthday who get, their damn brand new car and stuff, and then they get pissed if it's used or whatever. I don't know, that's just what I've seen.
You turn 16, you get a car, and you don't work, and everything's very structured.
There was no mall, there was no Montasia, there was nothing here. And we tell people where you were from, it was where's that? It's oh, you know where Magic Mountain is? Oh yeah, okay. It's still probably like that.
It is a beautiful community and it has a lot to offer for children, but I think once children start growing up and they start getting in their teens, they are just pining and fighting to get out of this valley because they want to see more of the world, because it's a pretty sheltered place. It's very conservative.
There's this whole family thing going on with Santa Clarita and this whole development thing, but there's this whole gap of people they kind of leave out, and that's this right at the age when people get into punk and car bar, and that's they just kind of leave out the high school age and young post high school college age and stuff, and that's why this town really sucks.